Hello. Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, everyone. The Black Foxes are here. We are live. Hopefully, y'all are enjoying some downtime. Thank you for joining us. And tonight, we are going to celebrate the joy of cycling and acknowledge the wide range of Black experiences within cycling and beyond.
Thank you for joining us.
And if Marty and Nikki, if y'all can mute momentarily, thank you. And tonight we're here to celebrate the worldwide release of our film, our feature short film. We are joined virtually tonight tonight and / afternoon from across the earth to hold space for our community and elevate one another. We are the Black Foxes, an international collective of unapologetically Black cyclists and outdoors people that are reclaiming our narratives and roles in the outdoors. There are many ways in which we seek to achieve this, and this project is an intersection of a few of those ways, which we will discuss more later on. Tonight, you're going to see a series of several short films, actually, featuring a little bit of deeper narratives into a few of the foxes, and then that will be followed by the Black Foxes feature short film produced by Venture Visuals and an all-Black film crew. Okay. With support from our community partners, Giant Bikes and Live Cycling. This film has been shown at the Maryland Film Festival, the Women's Film Festival, Bicycle Film Festival, National Black Film Festival, Diamond State Black Film Festival, the LA Black Film Fest, the Lower East Side Film Festival, the American Documentary and Animation Festival, and the Vancouver International Film Festival, and I'm sure there may be more. We also had the pleasure of bringing this film to our local communities in Denver, Minneapolis, Pittsburgh, and Girona, Spain, which has been a lot of fun. And now we're able to bring this story to the whole wide world, finally. We want you to enjoy these short films and hopefully stick around for a discussion afterwards. Go ahead and feel free to drop questions in the chat as you're viewing and as we go through the discussion. We appreciate y'all being here and enjoy. Since the days of fur trapping, Black foxes have been caged,
domesticated, and stripped of their blackness to fuel an economy.
As Black people, through our bodies, our language, and our culture,
we share this experience.
The Black Foxes is an international collective of unapologetically Black cyclists and outdoors people
that are reclaiming our narratives and roles in the outdoors.
We embody the journey of the Black Fox by connecting fellow riders and outdoors people,
sharing our stories and providing more representation.
All right, we're just gonna get our connection dialed so it's a little bit smoother for y'all. Thank you for your patience. Since the days of fur trapping, Black foxes have been caged,
domesticated, and stripped of their blackness to fuel an economy.
As Black people, through our bodies,
I kinda wish my story weren't a story.
Hello, everyone. This has been a week, and of course, now I'm having technical difficulties. It was working before, and of course, now it's not working, and I really apologize. So, thank you for your patience. In the meantime, I'm going to bring on a few of the foxes, and we can jump to some of the questions that you guys asked in the Instagram, and then we can figure out what's going on, and we will resume our programming. Thanks so much for your patience.
All right. Hey, y'all. Oh, don't we just push through adversity? Okay, cool. Well, I'm joined here by Shequaya Bailey from Pittsburgh and Marty Merritt from Girona, Spain, but originally from Chicago. Okay, don't get it twisted.
That's
and
right.
and Nikki, who is currently in Colorado Springs. I'm currently in San Diego, where I grew up, to see my mama and the fam. But I'll be in Colorado shortly to join y'all on the cold. So, yeah. Yeah, but I figured, yeah, we'll do as Ayesha said, and we'll just go through a couple questions that we've already gotten, which are actually kind of just general anyway, and might be helpful for some of y'all to know. One of those questions are, can folks join the Black Foxes? We do get this question a lot, and sometimes it's hard to figure how exactly to answer that. Does anybody want to speak to it?
I'll let Shequaya start off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, ultimately, we want to encourage folks to create their own kind of thing in their own community. That's what we're just trying to amplify the Black voices in the outdoor space, however that looks. So, not necessarily creating more foxes per se, but we want folks to create whatever they want to see in their communities, as opposed to making chapters of the Black Foxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely that's well said. I don't see it as like a fraternity thing, as like my mom was a Delta, whatever Howard, and then like you got Deltas all over the place. It's not like that. It's more like, yeah, we just want to encourage people to tell their own stories,
But we love those
And
though.
yeah, moms is cool though. Yeah, moms is cool. But yeah, it's pretty much that. I just think that what we're trying to do, we'd like it to kind of serve as a model for others to do their own thing.
Yeah. Like, it's really unconventional. It's not like we're like a composite team showing up to races all the time together, and or even a club team that can ride together often. It's more, I think, just a collective that's very aligned in what we're trying to do and able to support one another with like the diversity of our experiences and bringing all that together. And yeah, I think it's great that we can connect with these other groups and form alliances and try to empower one another. But yeah, there's no reason we got to convert everybody into a black fox.
Yeah. I feel that when things.
Yeah.
Is someone talking? Sorry. Yeah, I that's well said too. We don't want it to be. Yeah, I mean, because there's a reason why someone's asking, well, hey, can I be a black fox? Because there must be something that that they see in us that, and I want to thank y'all for that. I really appreciate that. We appreciate that. To have that feedback kind of helps us solidify what we're trying to do. But at the same time, each one of y'all that's asking that question, y'all have some stories and stuff to tell as well. And I feel that with the black foxes, I don't know, may be helpful in just answering questions, concerns about, hey, I want to do this in my community. Hey, I had this cool idea. And just start, sharing of ideas and stuff. Maybe one of us knows something, or maybe one of y'all out there knows something they can put us on to something, That's how it is, like a bartering of information type thing. The black fox is a state of mind.
Oh, okay.
And on that note,
All right, folks. I think we got it. We're gonna try it one more time. Everyone cross your fingers for Ayesha, please.
Since the days of fur trapping, black foxes have been caged,
domesticated, and stripped of their blackness to fuel an economy.
As Black people, through our bodies, our language, and our culture,
we share this experience.
The Black Foxes is an international collective of unapologetically black cyclists and outdoors people
that are reclaiming our narratives and roles in the outdoors.
We embody the journey of the black fox by connecting fellow riders and outdoors people,
sharing our stories and providing more representation within cycling in the outdoors.
we control our own narratives. We refuse to be defined and scrutinized by those who do not share our love, struggle, and story within the realm of cycling and all outdoor spaces.
We inspire and encourage more Black people to delve into the outdoors and outdoor sport, whatever their realm of interest may be and at whatever level they feel comfortable.
We create our own content, prioritizing Black riders and Black creators for the world to see. Our value and talent are for everyone, but we are behind the wheel in how they shine.
We aim to normalize Blackness in cycling and in outdoor spaces. We want to erase the white savior mentality that is ubiquitous in this industry.
We trailblaze, pun intended, for increased pathways and influence for more Black bike packers, gravelers, and mountain bikers.
We promote cycling and outdoor recreation as more accessible ways to maintain and improve mental health in our communities.
We create and cultivate an international network of Black cyclists.
We create rapport with an increased number of industry leaders and orient them in creating leadership teams that are representative of the multicultural world we live in.
We are the Black Foxes.
We control our own narratives.
I kinda wish my story weren't a story. Women of color on bikes should just be a thing. And maybe it's closer than we think.
What's going on right now? You seem like you're somewhere else.
Just mentally a bit drained. I just need to recharge a bit. I'm realizing that my story isn't just my story. It's about how we can make this sport better. By showing up for each other. By riding as fast as we can together towards something better.
You look up at this mountain from the bottom, and yeah, it looks impossible. But you just keep going. And next thing you know, you're at the top. And you're like, I just rode up that mountain. And then you're looking at that mountain over there and thinking, I bet I could ride up that one too. This is how big things happen. You just start where you are and you never stop.
I've been wanting to do this ride for a while now. There's so much history in these rocks. The landscape here is so humbling. It's taken millions of years to form these canyons. This is good gravel, but really, there's no such thing as bad gravel if you're equipped for it. These are the moments that ground me.
We're made to think that we belong in a box, that we can only ever be one thing, but that is just not true. Our relationship with the natural world has so much potential to move us. I don't have a box that can contain me, and my bike doesn't either.
Currently outside of America, working my way to expat status. I think that's hilarious. That's the only reason I say.
I had been tolerating Chicago winters for years and years and years, and a friend of mine had moved to Barcelona, so I'm like, so I'm gonna go check him out. I spent 2 weeks here, looked around, and was like, yep. Went back home, and I told my boss, like the day I got back, I said, hey, Mike, in 2 months, I'm up. I'm moving to Europe, and I don't know what I'm gonna do except riding bikes is gonna be the center point of that.
My name is William Loyd. I'm originally born in Hollis, Queens, New York. And I'm one of the members of the Black Foxes. Growing up in Hollis, I did not hang with the typical basketball crowd, played football for a hot second and like, this is kind of boring. The things that were pushed on us as a child and as a adolescent and as like a young man, there wasn't a connect all the time. There was like some resistance. Why is it where like we're pushed in certain directions and not others? Still, not a lot of my friends even considered biking as a thing, as an option at all. My upbringing was like, you get a car because that's what you do. Getting someone to like respect the bike growing up in a car-centric environment is a lot harder to do, no matter how fun a bike can be. It's always a stigma when you separate from the not normal. Anytime you step away from like what is the trend or what is in or what is acceptable, you're kind of like shunned. And you have two worlds in biking where like you have the what's acceptable and the outliers. I'm fine with being an outlier.
My name is Marty Merritt. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I am member 008 of the Black Foxes. I didn't grow up following the typical trajectory that Black American men should be following. I grew up playing tennis, right, which is a much more diverse sport now through lots of struggle and fighting. But I remember hearing things like, oh, golf and tennis, skateboarding, that's for white boys. Now I ride lots of bikes and race bicycles, and it's still a sport that's in its infancy. I would say it's extremely difficult to live in a society where you're supposed to be a certain way and your heart and your soul and your spirit are telling you something else. It's been a long journey, and I feel now that all of these things I wear as a badge, It's like my armor now. So it's like now it's taken on the opposite effect. I don't feel ashamed anymore or embarrassed or feeling that I need to be a certain way. No, man, I'm gonna be me.
Growing up as a Black man in a society in New York City, it has not always aligned itself with the status quo or the typical trajectory of someone that looks like me or represents like me. All the things that come with it, meaning the crowds that I hang out with, the activities I get into. I remember the first time I put on a kit and a helmet and my friends clowned me. I put up the Facebook photo. I was like, oh, I went to the bike shop. I got my helmet. I bought like this $60 jersey and I had my helmet and everybody's like, yo, what is this dude? They're like clowning me. And I was just like, oh, that's what we're doing. All right. That's cool. Like, could not stop. And these were the same kids that I was like riding fixed gear bikes with. Those little cues that it was like, all right, something's up here, where it's like, why is that?
We're in a place where people are questioning these norms in cycling, in the outdoor world in general. Our coming into cycling, the existence of the Black Foxes, the existence of other groups that are pushing representation in the outdoors, yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Having more representation in this sport adds more to the sport. It makes cycling bigger and better and more colorful.
It's very easy as Americans just to go about our day and our lives in this very monotonous, like, I need to get up, I need to go to work, I need to go to sleep. It's this constant like set list of rules that we're pushed into. There are others that want to break from that, and the beauty of that is they kind of always find a way to get together. Being here and speaking with the locals, you find out just how unique but similar people's experiences are. All bikes are dope, but like you can also be on a really fast road bike and just be having a good time. You never have to push yourself more than you want to. A lot of that toxicity around like you don't deserve something unless you're like struggling to like keep up this image is some of the reasons why we kind of like shy away from certain crowds or certain trends or certain like stressors that we really don't need, because the bike in itself is a beautiful tool to use exactly how you want. And we've created so much pressure to deserve or like be this thing that we think the bike wants us to be. When you can get on the bike, have a terrible day, and you could still have a good time though. What do you want from it? What did you go into it expecting? What were you told you should be doing beforehand that usually gets in the way of us just enjoying the bike at no matter what age?
I feel free now, you know? I feel like I've kind of come into myself, my essence, and like I know who I am. Dude, as far as we all know, we only live one time. So we create conditions to live our dreams and do the best to go in that direction, to take that path.
Stigma around adults who ride bikes where it's like, oh, especially as a black person, it's like, oh, you did something really wrong. Like even my dad, like he had a DUI and they took his license and he rode a bike because he had to. But that's not my story.
When we released a year ago, then people was like, black folks exist? Y'all are so cool. And then everybody's acting like we just landed.
We started working on the Black Foxes sort of the beginning of last year, well, maybe the end of 2019. And we're slowly like putting things together, figuring things out. And then the pandemic hit. And of course that threw a wrench in everybody's everything. And then the murder of George Floyd happened. We were already in the thick of like putting all of this together, but it seemed like, at least to me, like I kept getting emails and phone calls and all, we want to save all the blacks. And I'm like, we can like do things for ourselves and speak for ourselves and tell you what we need and how you can supplement, but not try and take the lead in our liberation.
Ayesha and Will, brought all of us together. Some of us through social media, some of us through them knowing them already. But we were like, yeah, we should totally get a group of black people together and start talking about cycling. All right. So I am in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, which I never suspected I would be. But I'm here with the Black Foxes as sort of a learning experience and also just like communion and reunion. Like it's a moment for us to like just fully release and drop our guard and just interact with one another, be creative, and also for some of us to learn bike packing.
Through Zoom, it feels like we already knew each other, but just finally meeting each other, we all just clicked. And it's just crazy how 8 strangers can just click.
It's all 8 of us, like we're all the Black Foxes. And so like when people try and come to me and like, hey, can we do this thing with Black Foxes? I'm like, I will ask the group. I don't like making executive decisions for 8 people because I'm one person. And I think that's just kind of the theme that I wish everybody understood about black folks in general.
It's like a family reunion. And I think it's important to see family often and regular and have it be normal and have it be on our terms. And as somebody who has a very non-traditional family structure, I value this time over anything. I feel like I have learned so much. I feel like I have learned how to stand up for myself and communicate with companies or brands or individuals, and even on a personal level, just how to ask for what I need. And growing up, like that's not a normal thing within my family or community. It's kind of just like take whatever you can get and like be happy with it. And I think that over this past year, that is one thing that has just absolutely transformed my life.
there's so many talented, creative, wonderful, kind, amazing humans, and somehow we have found 8 of them. I'm including myself in that number for this group, and it's so rare. Like, we get along really, like, freakishly well, and I don't know how that works, but it does, and I'm very happy about it, so let's roll with it.
Just gravel biking is just my secondary style of riding. I mountain bike, so just getting familiar with the gravel bike more. They all taught me different tips on how to be more comfortable on the bike.
We all ride at different speeds, so we slow down and wait for whoever needs to be waited for, or, you know, if folks want to go hard, they can go. They can descend after Shay if they can keep up with her, or climb with Ray if they can keep up with him, and then we'll just wait at the top or wait at the bottom, and everybody gets to thrive how they want to thrive, and it doesn't take away from anybody else. And I think that's a very special thing.
Of course, the pandemic created this bike boom where like everybody and their mama was on the bike, which was great. And more people using the trails and more visibility. And I think that just helps overall as more people see us doing it and us doing it looking fly. You know, everybody wants to look good doing something.
We're out here camping and climbing and riding bikes and surfing and doing free diving and film crews and everything. We're out here doing it already, but we just need to have more of a structure to make this more of a norm. And we're not there yet. So, yeah. I want black normalcy. I want black success and black joy, black happiness, black everything to be just as normal as they're making black pain in the media and on TV. We see a lot of that, right? That's like normal. So a lot of people think that, oh, being black is being killed, or struggle, or need help, or these types of things. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, you know? Black empowerment and being a black outdoors person, making black joy a normal thing.
Black boy joy is like an amazing thing to have only because you're showing your truest form. You don't care about like what other people think. You're just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this thing and I'm gonna be amazing at it and I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna like really express myself and not care about any other outside barriers.
We're happy people, we're strong and resilient people. I mean, look at everything we've been through. We're still here.
Cycling was never a thing where I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it to do all this other stuff. I was just doing it to go around Queens. I was doing it to see other neighborhoods.
Yo, so at first I got into cycling for just like transportation. You know, it was like my first like real freedom. As a black kid, you know, I was more of a backyard kid because my neighborhood was very dangerous.
I would say, like, as a kid, I would ride around the neighborhood and just trying to keep up with my brother and end up being like a mountain bike or something. I ended up like losing that bike somehow. I think, no, my brothers lost it. They lost that bike. There was a store in my neighborhood and they had bikes and they had layaway. I was like, come through with the layaway.
My childhood was hard. It was really hard. It was very difficult, and I really wanted to get out of it. I didn't want to be in that space anymore. I didn't want to be down. I didn't want to be sad. I didn't want to struggle anymore. I was looking for something better.
Bikes are super fun. I think even like riding a bike as a kid, you do it because it's an exciting thing. It makes it easier to get places. It gives you freedom and mobility. Kids don't have that usually. You can't drive anywhere, so you want to go see your friend's house. You either walk in or you're biking or you gotta talk somebody in and driving you over there. And so I don't know, I think the freedom that bikes gives is the reason that I just kept trying new ways to enjoy bikes.
On the outside, you might think that I'm just like turning up, but I'm just like healing, you know? So I think about cycling as therapy. I'll go out, just do a super cool ride or fast, it doesn't matter. Like any ride that I'm doing, I'm healing. I ride for them. I did a ride for 10 consecutive days for 10 black men that were killed by police officers. Every day I started in the location where they were killed by the police officer. And then we have Say Their Name Cemetery. I ended there, and it was kind of like bringing them back to that location.
In Pittsburgh, I am still the only Black female cyclist who races. And so I would like to see more of us come out, but right now that hasn't changed. Because Black women have to be the everything for our families, a lot of times Black women don't make time for themselves until they're in their 40s and 50s. So in Pittsburgh, you see a lot of older Black women riding.
The other day, we pulled into a parking lot to get Ayesha's bib number. For those that don't know, bib numbers is what the racers have. They attach it to their jersey so the officials can be like, oh, number 1, blah, blah, blah. She's doing great, whatever. They keep tracking. And the little girl was Black, noticed her and told her parents, and they got a picture with her because they saw her on TV, because apparently they was doing the pro race on the television. But that little Black girl saw that though, you know? She wasn't pulling up to these white chicks to take pictures with them. You know, that means something, you know? That's why we're doing this, you know? Because people are like, oh, they enjoy that. They love seeing that. It is doubly harder for her to make moves and make strides because of her being a Black woman, you know? I think white folks overlook because they have so much representation already. It's only just you. So they don't understand that, or they just don't get the concept of why it's important.
Black Foxes means family, positive energy, love.
Black Foxes to me mean being able to connect on a personal level with people that experience the same hardships as you.
Black Foxes also means overcoming oppression through communion and taking it upon ourselves to incite change.
Black Foxes means being a part of a support system that is beyond friendship, beyond family, but also a way for us to elevate ourselves and one another into spaces and opportunities that otherwise would not have been available or possible.
Just everything that we are besides what they want you to see.
It would be my hope that, you know, with the work we're doing with the Black Foxes and just getting more other Black women, even women in my family, especially the youngins, if they could see me riding and get excited about it and see that it's completely possible, there's you know, you could totally do it. There's the resources are available. People like me are available to teach them. Then maybe they could do it too, and they can start to get into it and realize we belong in that space too. I think that's the biggest thing, is just because historically it's been majority white folk, I think, you know, we could find our own way in there, claim our space that we so deserve.
I want to impact 5 million people and get them outside, get them on bikes, get them moving in whatever way makes sense for them, and for them to be inspired to go out and pursue something maybe they never thought they could do.
And I think we all are just trying to get people just to check it out. When you scrolling through stuff, you don't see us. So if we are controlling our own narratives, we're able to be look, we out here doing this, and it's dope, and we look fly. Come through, you know? And it's not even we flyer than you. No, we, as in Black skin, looks fly. Let's come, you know?
I started riding bikes in 2007 as a commuter just to get to class faster. And now I'm out here in the middle of the woods sitting on a cooler with 8 people I met less than a year ago. That's wild. Just seeing where the world takes you, where life can take you, and learning what opportunities to say yes to and which ones to turn down that aren't gonna serve you. So I don't know where we'll be, but I think it won't be just us at that point. And I think that maybe that's the dream, having other people see what we're doing and then be inspired to do the thing that they want to do.
Hello. Oh, that was so cute. I have seen that film now, I don't know how many times, at least a couple dozen, at least. And every time I'm just like, oh, it's like the time of year when your family sometimes starts pulling out pictures and like old home videos. And you're just like, oh my gosh, look at us. We were doing that thing. That was crazy, right? Yeah. It feels good. It feels good.
I always love that line when you be like, we so deserve.
I hope I look or I just am half as strong as you, Bailey. You know, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to, you know.
Trying to say, so when you get geriatric, you know.
Well, thank you all for hearing our stories, for watching the film. If you missed any part of it so far, don't worry. It will be available publicly online through the Live Cycling website, through Giant Bikes, and also here on the YouTube. So no worry about that. You will be able to see it again and again and share it with your friends and family and other folks, and just keep spreading our story as you will. Thanks to y'all for being here. Not just the audience, but the Black Foxes. And we are also joined by the director of the film, B. Monet. Thanks to her for being here. And thank you and the rest of the film crew for roughing it in the woods with us to document this. It was really important for this to be for us, by us. You know, that's what we take pride on. That's the whole point of the Black Foxes, is we create our own narrative, we control it. So it was really important to us to make sure that we had an all-Black film crew that could, you know, just understand where we were coming from and understand the vision of how we wanted to portray our story. So yes, thanks again. At this time, we'd like to kind of open up a discussion about the film and the Black Foxes in general amongst our speakers. So just to reintroduce everybody who's here quickly, we have Bailey, Shequaya Bailey from Pittsburgh. And we also have Ayesha and I actually don't know where I'm at on the screen, so I don't know if I think I'm pointing the right direction. Ayesha and Will are also here. And Marty, they are all in Spain, holding it down for us in the witching hours of the evening. And we also have myself, Alexa, Shanika, and Jalen. We're all from Colorado. And we have Raequan as well from Minneapolis, holding it down. These are all of the Black Foxes here, which is a real treat to have us all in one virtual space here today. We are also joined by the director of the film, B. Monet. B. Monet is a writer and director who graduated from Spelman College with a BA in English, and she hails from Silver Spring, Maryland, which we got to go check out her hometown for the Maryland Film Festival. That was really dope, really dope. Real good cycling out there, good folks, good people. That was a lot of fun. She also holds an MFA from New York University in film and television. And her films and her work is essentially posing questions about identity, society, race, and culture. It is vital to her that underrepresented people are shown in film, media, and television. Okay, so we were obviously in alignment on this project. So that was really awesome. And we do want to thank the film crew that was with us, Eddie Yassin, Kaylin Jacobs, Brian Naris, and Taylor Polidor. Y'all all held it down in the treacherous torrential rains of Knoxville. It got wild out there, y'all, but we made it happen. We still pulled it all together. So with that, I'm just going to roll into kind of some prompts to get the conversation going. My first question, and this is just kind of coming from me because it's something I think about at the end of anything like this, is like, would we do it again? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how do folks feel? Like, I mean, especially for you, B. Monet, how did this project compare to what you have been doing before? Like, was there anything differently you had to kind of do to prepare? And yeah, would you do it again?
Girl, I ain't never been in no woods with all these Black people before. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, I have never done something like this before, but I would gladly do it again. I feel like y'all have very much, I don't know if I've expressed this, but it encouraged me to kind of like explore that side of myself. Like now I go to cycle bar all the time, cycle inside, but I would go outside in the warmth. But yeah, no, this was such a beautiful experience, just like showing the community that you guys have. You know, I wish that I kind of had that in film, and I think it's so beautiful that you all have that in cycling, where I know that it's not a lot of y'all, so it's nice seeing this beautiful representation. And I'm just glad that you guys had me, you know, and all of us, you know, join the ride with you. So I'll be quiet now.
Ooh, okay, well, we'll keep you in mind then. We'll keep you in the books. So, you know, I'm sure there will be more stories to tell. So if you want to get back out there, you want to have a little camp experience, you know, or whatever. Some of us
I'm down. Also, I'm serious. I'm down. I'm not playing. So.
Some of us are also into this new thing called credit card bike packing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This guy. Will, do you want to explain what that is?
Yeah, it's like you ain't gotta be on the floor in the wet no more. You could just go to Airbnb and then start your ride the next morning. Like, it's dope.
I just want to let everyone know out there that this is a long-standing debate in this group. To give you context,
I don't know if it's a debate as much as Will don't want to be on the ground.
Look,
in a tent.
I did it, and that was cool. But I also like a bed. That's all. I'm not saying I wouldn't camp on the floor again. I'm saying if I could choose a bed, I'm gonna take the bed every time. Right.
I think it's important to note, like, I think it was the first night, like the very first night, it stormed and it was pouring, like pouring rain. And most of the film crew, maybe all, at least most, had never camped before. So it was like a shock.
But we got them joints set up in time, though. We did a little team shuffle and got everybody together.
I was in the car. I couldn't do it.
Edmundo asked about the location. Honestly, we picked that area because I was racing nationals in Knoxville. And it's just getting 8 people in the same place at the same time is so hard. But everybody was really game to, like, first of all, they came to Knoxville and they cheered me on for the race. And then we went on this grand adventure and it was really, really cool.
Not just cheered you on though. Yeah.
Yes, they were in the feed zone.
Team.
Ray went and got me some ice.
Ray was doing wheelies to go get ice from the store and coming back with socks of ice.
It was great.
Y'all got me fired from my showing her support.
I don't think you really liked it. The level of enthusiasm compared to us, he was like,
he's seen it so many times, you know. Yeah. He's like, oh, this is just Ayesha. She just doing cool stuff. That's okay. And we're all like, dang, what? It's nationals.
Number like
it's big.
35.
Oh, there's another question.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, blooper deep cuts. I've been on them. Like, fam, let us get into them cuts. Like, y'all.
Are there? Like,
there's gotta be. There's gotta be. Yeah, I'm sure there are. Also, a lot of us, well, not a lot of us, I don't know how many of us actually, but there were a lot of GoPros going. So we have, and you know how it is with GoPros. You turn it on all the time. Sometimes you hit record, sometimes you don't. And then you end up just with this slew of data, and it's like, how do you even fish through it? So maybe eventually we'll put out some like blooper deep cuts. Yeah.
But there's a lot of behind the scenes images and a couple of videos amongst our Instagram, especially from the past like 48 hours. So if you want to see some of those pictures, they crack me up quite a bit. I will never forget watching the crew climb that waterfall with their equipment. I was like, not the levels of anxiety that I'm experiencing.
I was praying for them. That is thousands of dollars of equipment they was carrying in the river, okay, in the waterfall. And I was like, Jesus.
And we couldn't even get Will to get in the river with no equipment.
You and me both. I was like,
did get in.
Let these cameras
It took a
fall.
lot of
I
convincing.
put my feet in the water. Don't give me that. I was with me. We was in the water.
Oh, there's another question. How much additional weight is all the gear, and can you feel the difference? You can definitely feel the difference. I don't know how much it weighs though. A lot.
There were surprisingly to me, there were some really steep climbs on some of those roads we were on. And it wasn't all, it was mostly gravel, but there were some randomly paved sections that I was like, this is the middle of nowhere. Why would they even pave it? But it would be like 30% grade. And I was like, yo, our bikes are like 40 to 50 pounds right now. And it was like, you know, pretty humid. It was, mid-June.
It was moist.
Okay, but do not forget that we were going up these steep climbs and Raequan was wheeling up them and we are all struggling.
And he was pushing us up as well.
Like, how is he doing this?
It's that
What is the gravity here?
Those vegan thighs. Those vegan thighs.
It was that meditation.
Some more vegetables, because
Man, I was
That's vegetables
meditating
right
out there,
there.
y'all. I was meditating out there, like by that stream that was right next to our campsite. I was like, I don't think I've meditated that much in a space like that. So I was like, dang, okay.
That was one good thing about the rain. It had the river running thick.
Yeah.
I had nightmares the first night. I thought we were all drowning.
Thank you for not sharing that.
It was bad.
Oh, Nikki,
and I was the closest to the river, so it was just raging, and I'm just like, it's going to take me under. It was bad.
And I was feeling myself because I was the only one with the hammock. And there was some, it really started to pour rain at one point to the point I start hearing zippers and like rustling. And I look under my little tarp and I see everybody like panicking. And I was like, dang.
She's like,
I'm kind of glad that's not me right now. But then I was like, I felt bad. But it was also my first time trying it. So I was like, well, at least it was worth it. And now I know it's good for the rain.
And then we were all like, yeah, we got to get a hammock set up.
For real.
I see another question about equipment for B Monet. What did you shoot it all on? And we asked the blooper deep cuts question, but I don't think you answered the equipment question. Like, what kind of cameras did you use, or lenses, or I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of an Eddie question, the cinematographer.
Mhm.
But I feel like we shot on we didn't shoot Black Magic. I wish I could. Hold on. Let me ask him.
There you go.
I don't want to tell you the wrong thing.
I want to give shouts out to the sound man though.
Oh, was it Brian?
Brian.
Look at him.
He takes sound. I ain't never seen someone take sound so seriously, man. I got respect for him real quick. He was up early in the morning getting sounds. Early morning sound.
And it was
He didn't
cool
play.
too, because like you could tell he really enjoys that craft. He was even like, besides of what we needed to get for the film, he was just enjoying like all the different nature sounds and trying to capture them. And I was like, dang, that's cool to see him like really enjoying it, you know.
I mean, it was my first experience doing a production like this with an all-Black film crew, and like we were really, really adamant about it. Like when the idea of the film even came about, we were super adamant in talking to Liv, saying like, we need an all-Black film crew. Like, this is a huge opportunity. This is what we've been trying to make. This is what we've been trying to do. So we have to do it. And so I don't know, we got lucky. The crew was amazing. it was
They went.
everybody felt like family by the end because we'd all been through it.
Not only did they,
it was such a great experience because I felt like we could be our full authentic selves. I feel like I've had experiences with other film crews where it was like basically they're asking you to perform, and it's always weird and like kind of uncomfortable. And I don't know if other members of this group has had that experience, but like it was like the first time that I felt like I could just be me, and they're just capturing that. It wasn't like put on this show or like do this thing that we expect you to do, and that felt really great.
Nikki, you were saying?
Oh, just going back to like the film crew, just like, you know, just being in the waterfall, but also like dealing with the heavy thunderstorms and the rain. They also got chased by some dogs. And they just
dogs.
like, they never gave up, and I definitely want to give them mad props for sticking to it with us.
I will never forget Eddie's face when he seen that pit bull. Because I was doing like their little downhill part. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I seen the dog running, and I was like,
not one, but two.
Because I don't know what I need to do, but I need to get out of here. And then like they dipped, but Eddie's like, go, go, go. And the dog is like getting faster somehow because he wants to jump in the back of the van. And
it was like a movie.
And then I like stopped completely and was like, all right, they took the dog away, and I waited for the rest of the group because they was like sitting back. And then we like all got like we just geared up to go battle with these dogs.
We took several minutes to plan this out. We were like, okay, tactically, what should we do? Who's more comfortable? Who's less comfortable? Okay, Raequan's going to be on the outside wielding a big branch.
Yeah.
The rest of us are going to be on the inside line, and we're going to roll, and he's going to hold just long enough for us to get away.
It was a full formation. That was like the dopest thing I ever did. Because it was two dogs, but it was like that one dog in particular looked like he wanted to smoke that day.
That's them country dogs right there.
Man.
We forgot about the Confederate flag people. Remember that too?
When we went to the first campsite, we were like, nah, we can't. Not here.
Actually, the first
Not here.
Confederate flags.
We gonna have to move. Because I feel like camp was like half set up, and then we got over there. We're like, no, this is not a safe situation for us. But that's real.
I mean, we just collectively was like, we'll find some places. It worked.
All right. As far as I know, none of the film crew was cyclists, but I think there was a climber in there, so not completely new to the outdoors.
Kaylin does a lot of outdoor stuff. But like I said, y'all really inspired, like I think all of us to like really go in towards the outdoor space a little bit more and just like cultivate community, whether it be outside or in film, because I think it's just hard like being the only one, and I don't think that we should ever be that way. And I really commend you guys for like wanting us to be with you alongside you, because it's a different experience having a white crew, you know. So excuse me.
Yeah, I think something that the film industry in general, you know, obviously has always lacked color. It's getting better. But it's lacked definitely authenticity with people of color. And I think that's what we're thankful that this is hopefully accomplishing or taking more step towards. But definitely the outdoor industry is even farther behind. I think it's got a lot more work to do. And hopefully with showing how like Black creators can tell a story, hopefully more folks will hire Black creators, especially if your talent is Black, like hire people who know them and can understand them and can really support them much better. Yeah.
Sweet. What adventures can we expect from the Black Foxes in 2023? We'll just have to wait and see. We've got quite a bit that we're planning, some big stuff, some small stuff, and some stuff in between, and we will reveal all of that in due time. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the time we have, and Alexa's gonna take us home.
Yeah. In terms of being able to have any more opportunities to see this film in person, someone did pose that question. We do have in queue, the film will also be showing at the Bicycle Film Festival in Amsterdam, and you'll be seeing Marty there. So right now, that's the only other in-person opportunity that we know of or that exists. Of course, if any events out there or any folks want to show our film in person, ask us, hit us up in the DMs, slide into our contact us on our website, and we can talk about that. Maybe we will have more events in the future. We will keep you posted on that. Just stay tuned on the website. In terms of how you can support the Black Foxes, we do have our Blackity Black Friday sale happening right now. You can get some really good deals on some holiday bundles we put together. And we also have our individual items discounted for a short period of time. So check that out at aquickbrownfox.com/shop. And you'll be able to see all those deals there. We also were able to collaborate with Black Coffee Roastery, which is a Black-owned business that we connected with at Into the Lion's Den last year. We've been hoping we could do something together, and this is finally the moment. So feel free to check them out, and you can get some of their coffee we've specially selected through our shop. We also hope to see you tomorrow at our virtual joyride. We will be on Zwift. The ride will be led by Ayesha. Hopefully a few more of us will be able to also pop in. It is a chill ride, social pace. Hit us up in the chat. We're just going to be vibing out, all right? You can find more information on that on our website as well in the events section. That ride is going to take place at 1 p.m. Eastern. So set your alarms, make sure you're ready, make sure you eat and hydrate. Now, you can also just keep watching our social media through Instagram, Facebook, and through our website. That's where you can stay posted on what things we have going on and other ways you can support us. Thank you all for sharing your time and energy with us today. Our goal is to hold space and share these stories so that we can normalize the diversity of experiences that have converged us all into cycling and other activities. So let's keep that going. Okay. And you can also support us just by holding space for all Black and Brown folks to be unapologetically themselves. Connect with us at events. Come talk to us. Ask us questions. That's what we're all about. All right. Now you ain't got to go home, but this live stream is coming to an end. Okay. So you're going to have to get out of here. Feel free to enjoy other content on our YouTube channel. We've got some other fun stuff. Thank you to my fellow Foxes for this beautiful journey. Love y'all. To B Monet and the crew and Venture Visuals for telling our story. And to our sponsors, Live in Giant Bikes, for providing the resources. We look forward to continuing to tell our story and telling it loudly. Okay? Take care, y'all.